Good morning, everybody. Today's Friday. Over the past few weeks, I've talked a little bit about my deep breathing and vocal exercises and how they may be used for specific care and prevention and alleviation of pains in parts of our body. I've covered the head, problems, how to manage headaches, earaches, hay fever, pains at the top of the back, the bottom, the lower part of the back, abdomen, menstrual pain, and even legs and feet. And last week, I think across about 3 sessions, I've talked about mental well-being and how we can use deep breathing and vocal exercise to help us with our mental health and alleviation of anxiety, panic attacks, and things like that. So, thinking I've basically covered it all, I thought today I would just take you through a session as I will normally run on a Friday. I'm just going to adjust my camera so you don't look at me from my tummy up, but you can see. Right. First of all, make sure you have enough space around you. I'll give you a moment. If you are with other people in the room, I always suggest you make sure you have enough space to swing your arms without hitting anything or anybody. If you're one of our members or viewers who struggles to stand up and you suffer from back pains or anything that might impede your standing, you can sit. If you sit, I'll just show you how. I'll try and be on my side, so hopefully that make a bit more sense. If you're sitting, make sure that you're not slouching. Don't rest your back against the back of the chair. Sit forward a little bit so that your spine, your back is fairly straight. Your legs are sort of 90 degrees. Sort of 90 degrees. I think that's the end of that sentence. And you can place your feet flat on the ground. If I might tell you a bit later on if anything needs to change about your feet. Sometimes I find that to keep my balance when exercising sitting down, I cross my ankles so that I arch the back of the foot, and I'm just sort of resting on one. But that is more if you're doing an exercise where you're required to lean back into your spine, and then you need to have your feet off the ground. That sort of thing will help balance you, and also sitting with your ankles crossed can sort of open up your pelvic area a bit more. If you're happy standing, let's stand. So, lovely. I usually say to people, make sure you're calm and relaxed. It's a nice idea to have had a drink, whether it's a warm drink or a cold drink, something that you just find will calm you down. Make sure you're hydrated. If you'd like to have a cup of tea or something with you, I will allow enough breaks in the session to allow you time to hydrate. I myself have a cup of green tea here. I don't like green tea, so it's a strawberry flavoured one with extra vitamin B12, I think. It's really nice. Lovely. So let's start with a general wriggle about. Listen to your body. Is there any part of your body that feels a little bit tense or just a little bit of discomfort anywhere? So at this point, you don't need to do exactly what I do. What I urge you to do is listen to your body. If there's anything, any part of your body, any muscle that feels uncomfortable, just give it a little wriggle. Perhaps make some circular movements around the tension, around the pain. if you like the idea of massaging certain parts of your body, like muscles around your spine, for instance, I've just been to walk my dog. He walks ever so slowly because he just smells everything. And I find I build up tension at the bottom of my back. So having a little massage there is good. You can roll your shoulders in a very relaxed way, backwards and forwards. Do a little bit of foot cycling with your legs, like that. And a general sort of waking up of your body. It's actually really warm today, so I'm going to open the window a little bit and hope that my neighbour isn't smoking into it. Bless him, it's difficult sometimes. Good. So, let's have a little shake. Right. So we're going to start with breathing. I always start a session with deep breathing. The idea is to start from the very basic. The one thing that we all do all day, every day, is breathe. So we'll start with some breathing, and then we'll expand from there. We'll move on to some humming and radiating the vibrations through your body and engaging different parts of the body as we go along. So let's start really simply, first of all, with a normal breath. We'll breathe in through the nose and blow through the mouth. And when you're ready, breathe in through the nose, slowly. When you can't breathe in anymore, gently blow through the mouth, slowly, until you've completely run out of air. Allow your body to follow the breath. So if you're getting to the point where you're breathing out and you're running out of air, allow your head to just fall forward as you push the air out. Allow your abdominal muscles to squeeze all the air out. So once more, in the same way, breathing through your nose as far as you can, and then blow. Now we're going to move on to breathing in through our mouth, and make sure when you breathe in through the mouth that you stretch the soft palate. Close the window again. Make sure you can hear me. If this happens to be the first session and you don't know about the soft palate, have a little feel with your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Just above your tongue, we have the hard palate. If you keep feeling towards the back with your tongue, you then hit a ridge, and then like a membrane. That's your soft palate. Now we stretch the soft palate naturally when we yawn. Have a yawn, so you get a feel for your soft palate. Feel that? Or when we gasp. See? So, excuse me. So we're going to breathe in through the mouth and blow. I think what we'll do first of all, because you can use both approaches to breathing. You can breathe in like a yawn, which is a slow breath in, or you can gasp to get a quick bit of air. In either case, what happens is that when we breathe in through the mouth and into the soft palate, we take a lot of air in one go. So the air goes directly to the bottom of our lungs, and we fill our lungs with air from the bottom up, which is better and healthier than the general relaxed way of breathing with a soft palate down. And when we breathe through our nose as well, we tend to not fill the whole of our lungs. This has never really occurred to me. There was one teacher in particular who raised this issue for me, because when I moved to the Isle of Wight, I started singing with a church choir, and I found that my voice was too loud. So to try and blend in with everybody else, I started breathing in through my nose, because I could then sing virtually without opening my mouth. So I've built up this habit of always breathing in through my nose, even when singing. And then she said, well, really, you ought to breathe in through your mouth to make sure you've got enough air to control. And I went, well, of course. I was just out of practice. I believe the publicity, I think it was Linda Philby-Boris, I think it was. Very popular Isle of Wight singing teacher. Yes, to start with, because we're aiming to stretch and relax every muscle, starting with our head. We'll start with a long breath in. I would suggest you could mentally count up to 4. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the movement of my arms, as it can be difficult when I can't count out loud whilst I do the breath. So move the arms as well with me. So we'll do this. We breathe in. Pause for a moment while the air settles into your lungs, and then blow. As far as you go. Let's do it together. Breathe in and blow. Make sure that you're standing solidly, nice and strong. Unlock your knees so that as you breathe in, you can bounce into your knees. You can really enjoy the stretch and the fill of air. So once more, breathe in and blow. One last time, breathe in and blow. We'll go back to our nose. Relax. And what I'd like you to do, we're going to hum. Raise your cheeks and aim for a gentle hum, making really, really nasal. We'll start with the lips closed. There's two different types of hum. If you hum with your lips closed, your tongue tends to be relaxed, and you get one type of sensation, one type of sound, one type of projection. If you hum with your mouth open, our tongue then wants to be raised towards the hard palate, so then we can concentrate the vibrations of the hum. And that it would be good exercise for the tongue, I find, but it will also help you project the hum so that it's louder. Both are good for different reasons. So we'll start with a natural hum with the mouth closed. We'll just go. So as nasal as you can make it together. Going up. A couple more. Last one. Now we're going to keep going out, but this time we'll open the mouth and we'll aim for a sound. So if you're not sure what your tongue's doing, say the word hungry, and settle on the sound. So you get that feeling. So hungry. Okay. So on, but what we'll do is that we'll hum and then we'll bloom into an R when we reach the top. So we'll go. So as little change in movement as possible from your face. So remember, we've started with the breathing. We started breathing through the nose, we then breathe through the mouth. Then we are humming in a natural way. We're building up from where we are. So still keep your humming and your singing really nasal. Still project from there and just open up. So together. Same but with an E. With hair. With all. Last one with an R. Take a deep breath and blow. I'm finding it really useful at the moment, this morning, when breathing out, to just arch the spine, because that allows your abdominal muscles to push the air out without too much effort. But also, I'm stretching that back that's a bit tense from having sort of got up in the morning. And I find particularly during lockdown, we're talking about this on Wednesday on my Project Opera Facebook page. A lot of people are fairly sedentary during lockdown. We're not necessarily working, we're not as busy. So a lot of people are not sleeping very much. So if you're tossing and turning in the night and you're not sleeping very well, it can be very common to then wake up feeling rather worse for wear. I sometimes find that if I haven't slept very well, I'll wake up in the morning and I feel really stiff and my back's uncomfortable and the weather is getting warmer. So starting a warm-up in a way that we stretch every single muscle a bit at a time and gently, it's really good. It's a really great way to start the day. A little gentle stretch of the neck, give it a little shake. Good. A little gentle shake of the knees. That's all I'm doing. I've got my feet flat on the ground, just shaking from the knees. And we're gonna come back to the middle of the voice sort of thing. We'll do a very simple. Now, before we go into that, I quite often like to use imagery. If you like, you could perhaps imagine that you are on a beach and you're watching this little. You get some little birds. I don't know if you get them here on the Isle of Wight. I'm not convinced I've seen them anywhere else. You get seagulls And then you get these tiny, tiny little birdies that you get looking for shellfish during low tide. They're really tiny. So imagine the hustle and bustle, those little wings and those little beaks as they look for the food and splash in the water, because they're very small, they do so fairly quietly. So imagine you're looking at these birds and you're making the sound. You are mirroring their sound with your wee, 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 wee. So over here, with our arms, we're sort of creating our beach and water. Ready? Good. Wee, 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 wee. Going on. Wee, 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 wee. Allow the image to help you smile. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Lean more into your knees. Wee, 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 wee. Last one. If you do want to go for an higher one, go for it. I'm just going to take a quick sip of my drink just to sort of hydrate. If you don't want to go for a higher one and you want to take a drink break, please do. Good. Have a little exercise of your knees. Just I'm just literally just bending my legs up. You can do that if you're one of our members who are sitting. Let's have a little wriggle. So now what shall we do? I think what we'll do is that we'll venture into the water ourselves. Perhaps go exploring in the water. So what we'll do is that we'll pick an exercise and we'll go down the scale. Let me think. First of all, have a movement with your arms. So you're visualizing where you are. Okay, you're building the picture. You're setting the scene with your arms. I think we'll keep it simple. I often use the same exercises because they're just there. I would say if you walk away and decide to apply the same sort of order of exercise and thought and the deep breathing and the humming and so on, you can use any melody you like, any melody you are happy with. Explore, listen to your body. Explore with music and vibrations and see what you can do with it. See how you experience it and how your body reacts to it and where it wants to go. So we'll do a very simple and as we go up and down that circle of notes, rather than think up and down, visualize the ripples that you're making in the water as you step into the water. So together. Really lean into your knees and relax. We'll try and do a couple more and really imagine the water moving about closer to the sand, underneath the water. How does the water move? How do you move and how do you feel? What do you see? So, can we manage one more? Breathe in and out, upwards and down towards your toes gently. Just allow the weight of your spine to reach out towards the ground. Just rely on gravity. Bend your knees with your arms together as you come back up. And breathe in once more. And breathe out. And down to the toes again. Bend your knees. Come up, breathe in. And breathe out. Really ease your chest and in all directions, your rib cage. Allow it to just open up with your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out with all the movements. Oh, yes. So how did I go into that lower part of my register? Well, some people just have those notes. What I do, because obviously it's not my comfort zone so much, but then going into the lower part of the register, keep that smiling sensation, keeping that nasal quality and your nasal cavity sort of engaged and vibrating. And that focus there on the middle, the front of your face, and then just opening into the sound, the back of your head, the back of your throat, and into the chest from the back to the front. That's a way of just going down into the lower range with ease and not allowing the voice to just collapse. So that's it. Okay. So I think we'll come back to the top of the water and splash around. What we're going to do? We're going to do this. Here we go. And again, and see how high we can go. Once more. And if you move your legs apart a little bit, we're going to lean our weight into the legs and we're going to do it side to side so that you're going to make this kind of movement. So you're bending into one side first and then sweeping across, bending in on the other knee and then coming back up. So we'll go. Together. And the other side. One more time for each side. Other side. And that brings us back to the vibrations and the face. So I think the next thing we'll do some singing. Now, if you've done a few exercises like that to have a little stretch and warm up, you're not tired, you could then go off and sing anything you like. There are, of course, various types of exercises, and sometimes if you are learning a new song or practicing a song in particular, you may want to have specific vocal exercises that help you practice, particularly the tricky intervals in a specific song. I sat on my piano yesterday thinking, right, I'm going to learn something new. And I sat there and I had a look at some Verdi. I was having a look at Ave Maria from Otello, and I had a little look at, I can't remember, was it the Lacrimosa or something? The end of Verdi Requiem, which I'm also looking to learn. And then I thought, oh, okay, I'll go and brush off my aria from Michaela's aria from Carmen. So going from Verdi to Bizet. And I realized that actually there was such a wrong thing to do, because Verdi writes music in a specific way for the voice, and then changing the approach completely to sing Bizet, I really should have stopped, gone away, taken a break, and done some exercises around the intervals, which are so different. The style of the melodies is so different. But it's something you can go off and do in your own time. For the benefit of those who perhaps might just not be working on anything in particular, if you'd like to stay with me for a bit longer, I'd like us to hum together the chorus of Hebrew Slaves, Va Pensiero. Do you know it? Give it a go. I know the words as well, so if you know the words, jump in when you like. I think what I'll do is I'll start with a hum and then I'll go into it. Traggi un suono di crudo lamento, ti ispiri il Signore concento, che ne fondo al patire virtù, che ne fondo al patire virtù, che ne fondo al patire virtù, al patire virtù. Deep breath. Lovely. How did you find that? So the idea there is to warm up and stretch everything, use the movements, and then bring them back up to the head, up to the voice, so we can incorporate all of that, all of those bases, focusing the projection from the nose, from the sinus, easing the voice into the soft palate, the back of the throat, the chest, supporting it with our abdominal muscles that, as we saw through the exercises in our session, in our warm-ups, leaning into the knees, we can help our lower back and our abdominal muscles support the air in our lungs. We're breathing into the soft palate. We're making sure that we're filling the lungs with air from the bottom up, so that our diaphragm has something to hold and something to support, and everything works in one place. I was sort of waving my arm to sort of give you the shape of the music a little bit. I've got this secret yearning for becoming a conductor, I think. I love it. But you could, having done the exercise in a very physical way, you can then stand very still and just incorporate that muscle memory. And you can stand still and sort of ease into your back a little bit. And mentally, your body will know what to do. You know what movements you need, and all that. So I think for today, I'll be leaving it here, trying to keep the sessions not too long. But I think it's been a good 45 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did find it useful, please do share. Do hit subscribe. What I'm going to do during lockdown, I'm going to keep these live streamings. I do a sort of live chat on mental health, general sort of managing our state of mind on a Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock on the facebook.com/Project Opera page. I run Project Opera on Yellow White. And on Fridays, I'll do these live streams on YouTube. The purpose being that people who are not on social media can access them. So you can share the link, send it to people, family and friends by email. So I aim to just do this during lockdown for those people who do benefit. Once we come out, I'll be teaching again, and I'll be out and about doing sessions. So unless I'm particularly booked, I don't know. Perhaps we'll see. We'll see how we get on. If you have any questions, if there's any song you would like us to look at together, or any comments on how you felt, perhaps if you struggled anywhere there, do leave a comment, and I shall do my best to answer the comment, certainly. And if there's anything you'd like to cover with exercises next Friday, I'll have a go. Wonderful. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.